And we've got Ray on this morning where Arsenal kept their title hopes well and truly alive. Good performance and great result, but the threat of relegation has become very much a reality for Spurs. Eddie made it 7 goals in 3 games against Spurs. Incredible, since scoring a brace for Palace last May. We're going to take a call now from George, a Spurs fan. George, a very good morning.
Morning,
or
George.
Is it, George? Is it a very good morning, my friend?
No. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, George. You carry on, mate.
No, it's not. I have to take a deep breath here because, there's some things that's going on which is ridiculous. Daniel Levy, I think 3 people are responsible for this decline. I think Daniel Levy, the footballing side, he's done well with the stadium and the facilities. The footballing side, he genuinely hasn't got a clue. He was getting advice from other people, and the advice was poor. He hired Ange. He's the second one, because the decline started when I think we was top of the league the first few months, if you remember. And then when they started to play top teams in the league, they then started to lose games. Then they had the injuries, and they winded up 5th. Where in reality they had a situation where they should have been in the top 4, because people were saying that the points they had accumulated during the first 3 months, virtually guaranteed them to be top 4. Some way, some shape, they winded up 5th. So they were in decline there. He then says he abandoned the league. Who abandoned the league because he wanted to win the Europa League? No, I've never heard that before. He should have been sacked just for that. Okay, the teams we played in the Europa League from the quarterfinals, we should have won. We played Man United. I've spoken to loads of Man United fans, and they said it was one of the worst teams they ever had. Yet they had us on the back foot in the second half. I don't think we had an attack in the second half.
George, I've got one quick question for you, mate. Are you going to stay up?
Yes. Just before I finish, the last one is Thomas Frank. Who goes to a job and you have no qualifications? He'd never played in Europe. He'd never managed £50 million players. Okay?
Oh, I think you've been harsh, George. I think you've been harsh, mate. I think Big Ange wins you a European trophy. Thomas Frank, there wasn't a lot of people complaining about Thomas Frank when he got the job, mate, from Brentford. But anyway, I appreciate your call. Thanks for your time this morning, George. Disastrous first game in charge for interim boss Igor Tudor, who admitted after the game that there are big problems that have to be solved very quickly at Spurs.
Well, he showed me that on Tuesday we need to start work hard and seriously, and change the habits, and trying to resolve the individual problems, because now in this moment the team is full of the problems. That's very evident, and the only key is work on the training day by day. Be humble, stay down, see what you can do. You need to start run. We need to start run more. We need to be more aggressive. We need to start to win the duels. We need to be more compact. We need to be more for concentration. These are the keys. Working on every day in the training to change bad habits.
I'm just worried about George. Is that George? George is.
By the way, keep an eye on George today.
I don't know.
Oh man,
I think a lot of Spurs fans will be like that.
I think George probably speaks,
and it's so people so passionate about their clubs, and when they're in that bad
everybody was getting in there.
Yeah, Arsenal fans like that against Wolves. And I was like that against Wolves. I woke up that next morning, I was like, I can't believe this I've seen last night. And then that's what football does
drives
to some people.
It drives you insane. There's no getting away from it. Right, let's speak to the man who was at the game for talkSPORT yesterday. It's a very good morning to our very own talkSPORT's George. Alex Crook. Crookie, how are you this morning? How's George Crook?
I'm a lot chirpier than George.
Poor George.
Listen, in all seriousness though, Crookie, we can understand George. You'll just be speaking and feeling the same way a lot of Tottenham fans are feeling this morning, and that's understandable. Brilliant day for Arsenal, Crookie, but if ever there was any doubt, and I don't think there has been or is or was, Tottenham are in trouble, mate.
They certainly are. 4 points above the relegation places now. Competitive in the first half, but even then there was a clear golfing class, and obviously that came to the fore in the second half, and it was pretty evident that Arsenal were not only going to win, but win quite comfortably, really, from the moment Victor Gyökeres scored a fine goal 2 minutes after the restart. But just listening there to Igor Tudor, I think he knows the enormity of the task that he's taken on. But when he talks about having to work harder in training, having to run more, it does make it even more baffling for me that Spurs lose a game at home to Newcastle. They fire the manager and they decide to give their players 5 days off in the middle of the season. I don't get that, and I'm sure a lot of Tottenham fans can't get their head around that either.
Yeah. One thing about the Tottenham fans, though, I must admit, Cookie, they played their part, didn't they? I mean, they made the atmosphere before the game was unbelievable. Really got behind the team that first spell of the game, but the players didn't really respond, did they, to that?
I think they did to an extent in the first half, and it was, as you say, a completely different feel around the stadium to if Thomas Frank was still in situ. There were videos that we were getting on talkSPORT of the concourses packed out with Tottenham fans singing before the game, and yeah, it made it quite a hostile environment for Arsenal. I think your former club deserve a lot of credit for the way they managed that situation, particularly after the error that Declan Rice made. Really uncharacteristic from him to gift Kolo Muani the equalising goal. But defensively, Tottenham were all over the shop, weren't they? You look at all 4 goals that Arsenal conceded, Igor Tudor won't be happy with any of them. And I do question him tactically a little bit, because he likes to play this back 5. He has done throughout the bulk of his managerial career, but they've not got 3 available centre-backs, Tottenham. So he shoehorned João Paulinho into a position that he doesn't really play very often, because he was wedded to this system. And it goes back to the Ruben Amorim factor, doesn't it? How many managers have come to English football, played with wing-backs and been a success? Antonio Conte did it at Chelsea and won the title. Oliver Glasner did it last season and won the FA Cup, of course, with Crystal Palace. But that's about it. I'm not sure that his system is going to work in the Premier League.
Crookie, here's one for you, mate, right? Everybody's looking at the poor result, and I think it's probably the only poor result that they've had, Arsenal, and that was a draw at Wolves. And then, obviously, City managing to get 3 points against Newcastle. Conversely, was it actually, everybody thought North London derby, difficult game for Arsenal. Was it actually, I know it's easy to say it now with hindsight, but it's turned out relatively comfortable and not easy, but you know what I'm saying, a good game for Arsenal.
Yeah, and it's twice now that they've come out as comfortable winners in this fixture. We were at the Emirates as well during the season when, again, Eberechi Eze was inspired. So I think you're right. Maybe we got swept up in a bit of the hype because they were poor in that second half against Wolves, because Tottenham had this potential new manager bounce. But ultimately, Arsenal are so far ahead of their near neighbours that, yeah, maybe it was the perfect fixture just to refocus. And you know what? Whenever we ask questions about Arsenal this season, we did it after they lost to Michael Carrick's Manchester United at home, and then they went and beat Leeds 4-0. They respond, don't they? So I think you've got to make them clear favourites to win the title, despite the fact Manchester City are now putting on this scoreboard pressure.
Cookie, why have you got a camouflaged lampshade behind you? And what's your view like from your window? Open your curtains. Come on, Cookie. People, look. What's it?
Are you in Vegas? You're either in Vegas.
Where are you?
You're either in Vegas or Bali.
No such luck. I'm in Shoreditch, unfortunately.
It looks like what's behind them curtains? I want to see what's behind them curtains.
I'm going to have a look at you, Crookie. I think you're working with security services.
Camouflage, look, the old lampshade.
I had to bed down with Sam Matterface after the show yesterday because the talkSPORT budget didn't stretch the 2 hotel rooms. So.
But we wouldn't wish that empty, mate. All right, thanks for your time,
Cookie.
See you later on.